it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Better people. Oh, baby. Better people. The engine's roaring life in the fast lane. PHG, we've been named, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go lack. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, ain't looking back. Tires screaming as we take that turn. Fuel and fire in our hearts we burn. Opponents in the mirror, they can't keep up. Keep the throttle down, never wanna let up. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Team strong, bonds like no other. Brothers, sisters, ain't no undercover. Victory sweet, but honor even sweeter. Every race together makes the fight deeper. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gran Turismo PHG World Series. My name is Salamander. I will be your host today. I am joined in the booth by my friends Mustang Chuck and Leo. Say hi, guys.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey everybody, what's going on?
All right. Oh, I had a technical difficulty. I had to actually turn the Discord thing on, but we're good to go now. All right, so this week we are going to be running at round 2. Let's actually pull up the round info and talk about what we got going on this week. This week we are in round 2 at the Autodrome Lago Maggiore. We're going to be running 15 laps in Group 4 cars. The racing hard tires are required, but any racing tire is allowed. I think the expectation there is that they will use softs for qualifying. And then the tire wear is at 5x and the fuel is at 3x. From what I've seen in the qualifying practices, tire wear is an issue here. What do you think of this combo, Leo?
Going into it, this isn't my favorite track, but honestly, it's turning the other way around. I've actually started really enjoying it. That tire wear that you brought up just a second ago is no joke. Depending on what car you're in, it will really destroy them. Rip to the people that are using front-wheel drive cars. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think I heard the same thing with all-wheel drive cars. They chow through those tires. It might be an advantage for the FR cars this week. How you feel about this, Chuck?
I really think the McLarens are going to do good here if anybody's running the McLaren because of how natural their tire life is, how good they are on tires. I really think it's a pretty track. It's been a while since I've run there, but just like you guys have brought up, that 5 times tire modifier is going to really chew up those tires, but the McLarens are notorious for being very, very good on tires. And I really suspect that if anybody picks McLaren, that they should show well today.
All right. Yeah, good. Well, let's go over the points really quick. For all the rounds this season, we've got some bonus points available. 5 points available for the overall fastest qualifier in the series. 5 points for the pole of each split. 5 points for the fastest lap of each split. 5 points for leading a lap, and 5 points for leading the most laps. In addition to that, we have our point distribution by split. This first race is going to be top split, so the number 1 driver will get 400 points, down to the 13th place driver will get 280 points. Of course, those bonus points are going to play into that. And for this race, these are our 13 drivers. We see that PHG Jorge Sr. Took the top spot, so he's already got 5 of those bonus points for being the overall qualifier for this series. We do this a little different than the Gran Turismo World Series. We hold qualifying throughout the week in order to determine what split you get into. We will hold the actual race qualifier here shortly to begin the particular split. But what that means is if you're fast at one track, not fast at another, you could be in top split one week, but you may be back in split 2, 3, or 4 for another week. So that's what we got going on. You guys excited about this one?
Oh, definitely. This is going to be a good race. Like I said, I don't think I've ever run much at Lago Maggiore, but I know a lot of people like it. And you got to say it with the hands when you say Maggiore. Like I don't know who was it on YouTube that does that, but yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
Lago Maggiore, right? Yeah, this is going to be a good one. I mean, all the races that we've had so far, in race 1, the 2 that I was involved in, those were absolute bangers to watch. So I'm hoping this one, being very twisty-turny, but also having some long straights. There's certainly different parts of the track that different cars are going to excel. So, we'll see if we get quite a bit of passing, or if they all get stretched out. We'll see how it goes. I do believe we will be starting qualifying in just a couple minutes here. And when we do that, we will switch over to the track. And then we can check out some of these liveries.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how this goes. It is a large track for arguably slower cars. I thought it would be a little bit of an issue going into it, but after doing as much practice as I did, spying in on the qualifying yesterday, I was solidly pleased that my first initial expectation of this track was changed, as I said in the beginning, because I'm not a fan of any of the Maggiores or whatever, because there's only 15 of them, and they're all similar in my opinion, but whatever.
I know with this one being that there's a lot of high speed turns, there's certainly a lot of flow. If you're able to be able to maintain momentum through the corners, so there's some of these S's that you're able to go through completely flat out. And then the big banky boy, of course.
Oh, the banky boy.
Yeah, you dive the car into there and you just have to trust that the downforce and everything is going to grip you around, and it's a fun one. It can certainly be gut check time every time you go into that corner, especially if you've got 2 or 3 cars.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it called that at on Reddit, the Banky Boy. I was looking around on there, looking for people who are wanting to name all the corners in the Gran Turismo specific tracks, and the Banky Boy was one of them. But before we start qualifying, to touch on what Leo said earlier too, about slow cars going around this track, or whether it's slower cars, is you guys know the saying is sometimes it's a lot more fun to drive a slow car fast than it is to drive a fast car slow.
Right. Most definitely.
Let's see. Who do we got out front here? It's like Shaggy's the first one out.
Our resident alien, the designer of these series. He sets up all the combos and, you know, the modifiers and all of that.
Him and his bluish Alpha 4C. Always a fun one to watch. Let's see, we got Wicked CBR here, who's running in a Genesis in an old Interstate number 18 NASCAR livery. Like that.
I like that green.
Bobby Labonte. Oh, Bobby Labonte, yeah.
And we got Bobagito running in the Nissan Silvia. What does that say on the side?
Yingling. Yingling, it's a type of beer.
Ah, very interesting. Nice clean livery. I like it.
Yes.
We got PHG Lyric in the Porsche.
You know, shockingly, I've never used that Cayman ever. And I'm tempted to now.
We got Jorge. Jorge here is our he won the qualifier, or had the fastest time in qualifying leading into this in a default livery Supra. And Racer 51, typically running his Batman livery once again, also in a Supra.
He's Batman.
We got JK85 CBR, part of the CBR crew, in the Huracan, a Pepsi Cola, you know, Union Jack Huracan.
Very nice.
Promo they did in Britain.
Wade, another one of the CBR guys, in the Alpha, Rockstar. I like it.
Oh yeah. It's a cool shade of purple.
Spazua in a light blue Huracan, Simpsons.
Very nice, very nice.
Cornbread, who I believe is the proprietor of CBR, in a Cheetos Nissan Silvia.
He's also a fellow Ohioan. Seen him up there in my leagues for the various official Gran Turismo races.
Nice. And Jimmy K9 in the Porsche. Hostess.
You know, I'm starting to see a theme with the CBR guys. They love their food.
Then we got Rick Shear here in the Renault.
Our resident Englishman.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like Shaggy is on his hot lap. It looks like, oh, they started the hot laps a while ago. I'm a little behind. Sorry about that.
Probably good.
Let's see.
We are enamored with the liveries.
Yes, we definitely are. Shaggy coming through this fast back and forth section here. Got to woe it down for this right-hander. Gonna gingerly get it around the next right-hander and then bring it on down through for the final. We'll see what kind of a lap time he gets to start with. Go. There's the long straightaway to the finish line.
Do want to point out most of these guys with the tire wear are going to be going slow that first lap just to conserve it. And I guess Shaggy didn't like how it came out, so he said, "Let me go back in."
Wicked CBR putting in a what was that? 205.3. There we go. Lyric.
Oh.
And
Lyric.
Jorge takes over the top spot, Racer 51.
203. Yikes.
Yeah, they're all starting to come across the line here. Jorge with the top time, 203.9. We did see a number of 203s in the qualifier leading up to this, so he's down in that 203 range after the first hot lap. We'll see if he can improve on that. Let's see, what did Racer 50... Oh, Wow, 1/1000th of a second
Wow.
separated Jorge from Racer 51 on that first hot lap. These guys are right on par with each other.
My lord, that's less than a hair.
Right. It looks like we've got, only two 200s, 300s separating Wade CBR and Lyric. And only another 1.5 tenths down to JK85. Wow, this is really tight qualifying. The top 6 or the top 5 all within less than half a second.
Yeah, all of our league races seem to have really close qualifying times. I think in one of the exhibitions last year, it was a common theme that we had people all within like 1 or 2 seconds of each other in all the split qualifiers. Am I remembering that correctly, gentlemen?
Yeah, and that's one of the advantages to doing the split qualifying throughout the week, is that once again, if you have everybody who is strong and fast at this particular track ends up being close together. You could be a fast driver where it's just not your track, or you could be a more middle of the road driver who just seems to excel at this one. It really brings those times closer together. It makes for some good competitive racing.
Oh yeah.
Got some people coming into the pits to get some fresh rubber on.
Yeah, hopefully they burned off some fuel, make the car lighter, and put down some faster lap times and conserve the tires a little bit more in this last little bit of qualifying we got going on.
Yeah, it looks with a lot of these guys coming in, their tires are about a third of the way down. And they're about 20% of their fuel gone. Bobagito just trying to stay out of the way here. Oh, because he's on his outlap.
Yeah, just taking it slow.
Mm-hmm.
No need to push the tires since the tire wear is a little higher than usual.
Right.
Well, not usual, but just try to conserve them so that way you can throw that hot lap down the next lap.
I don't know about you guys, but I actually prefer tire wear races over fuel saver races. I do not like fuel saver races.
I like both. I like them. I like living on that edge. It gives me something to fight for.
I like having some kind of strategy, whatever it is. I agree.
Yeah.
As we watch Jorge and Racer 51, Racer 51 has the advantage of being able to get that slipstream, especially on these long straights like what we got here.
Yeah, I think that slipstream will come into play more and more during the race. I was messing around last night, and it seemed to be pretty strong here for these cars.
And we saw going through the big Banky boy there, just flying through. Jorge getting a little bit of distance going through the S's. But Rick Shear also in 3rd place here, not too far behind.
Go.
Only a quarter of a second back in the lowly Renault.
Yeah. That thing handles like a beast, I'll tell you that. I've used that thing a couple of times.
Now the Renault does lack a bit on top end, doesn't it? But it's really good in the turns.
Yeah, it does. But really super stable car. I mean, it is an MR, so I mean, it handles whatever you pretty much throw at it pretty well. Yeah, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it does handle like a dream.
Yeah, I can second that. I ran that at the Wet Red Bull race a couple weeks back for Nation. It's lacking on the top end, but it's very, very stable. Not likely to spin out in the rain or let alone in the dry. So.
The more I look at it, these CBR guys love their food.
And we got a heck of a train of 5 cars here.
Yeah.
All in qualifying. Qualifying, you always got to be careful not to race each other, but if you can stay close enough, especially in spots like this where you've got the slipstream, it can certainly help your qualifying.
I was about to ask it.
Oh,
You turned off and on.
JK85 goes purple.
Yeah, he's actually purple by 175 thousandths.
Oh, wow. It might not seem like a lot, but that means everything here. Especially in these momentum-based cars. They ain't got the horsepower, but they do like to provide a lot of close racing because they are momentum cars.
See, if anybody steps out, tries to make a pass on this long straight slipstream, I think they're all a little bit too separated for it.
Yeah.
They fly through the Banky Boy.
I think they're all just staying in that Congo line to work together to keep that slipstream up.
Yeah.
It's not a bad strategy. Right, we are on the final lap. Jorge coming to the line. Let's see if he can do any better on his final lap through. He does. Knocks another almost 3/10 off.
Wow.
To solidify the pole position. Looks like Racer 51 had a penalty and wasn't able to increase his time.
Go Lyric.
Looks like Lyric, he's done with his lap. Wade CBR and JK, these guys are all coming in for their final lap.
Oh, it's going to be fun to go through.
Looks like Wade and Spazua and Jimmy all set a little bit better times.
Yep.
I believe that should be everybody. I don't think there's... Let's just go through the field, see if anybody's on a hot lap. Nope, I think we are done.
Looks like it.
And that sets our qualifying order. Chuck, you want to take us through the results?
Yeah, sure. So in first place, we have PHG Jorge Sr. in the, once again, GR Super Race Car with a 2 minute, 3 seconds, 0.619. Second place, we've got Racer 51, once again in the Supra, with just almost 3/10 off with a 2 minute, 3 seconds, 0.916. In third, we've got Eric in the Porsche Cayman GT4 with a 2:03.961. In fourth, we've got Wade CBR in the 4C with 2:04.033. In sixth, we've got Rick Shear in the Megane with a 2:04.160. In sixth, we've got Spazua CBR in the Lamborghini Huracan with a 2:04.394. In seventh, we've got JK85 from the CBR crew as well in the Hurricane as well, or the Huracan, excuse me, with a 2:04.476. In eighth, we've got Shaggy Doo in the 4C with a 2:04.611. In ninth, we've got Jimmy K9, once again from the CBR crew, with a 2:04.874. In 10th, we've got Cornbread with a 2:04.927. In 11th, we've got Wicked from CBR in the Genesis with a 2:05.138. And in 12th, we've got Baba Jiddu in the Sylvia with a 2:05.634.
All right, well, there we go. That sets our starting lineup. Oh, what do you guys think about that? We had 3 guys under 2:04 in qualifying there. Looks like they've got some serious speed. How do you guys think they're going to do as far as managing tire wear and being able to go the long haul?
Well, I didn't see any. Go ahead, Leo.
Oh, go. No, you go ahead, Chuck.
Okay. I didn't see any McLarens out there. So I honestly don't know how this is going to work out. I think we're going to see some really close racing from the guys up front. But it's all going to come down to, what the winningest strategy is going to be and saving the tires and when to get into the pits to switch out those tires to maintain your speed.
Yeah, I'm going to have to second that. It's going to come down to strategy. When do you pit? Do you do the undercut, the overcut, or do you do the no stopper? Because it is possible. I've seen a couple people run it, but with them going as hard as they can. I don't know if that's going to work out with it pushing the cars as hard as possible to get those times. Now, they may not when they go into the race. Who knows?
Yeah, especially as the race wears on. You know, you might have that initial advantage, but when your tires start dying off in the end, it's happened to me a few times where, you know, I'm nursing it around the last few turns because I can't get the darn thing to turn.
And we are underway. They come to the start-finish line, and we are off. Round 2 has begun.
Let's go.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
See how they do going into turn 1.
Nice tight lines through there. I like that. Nice and clean.
Such a deceiving chicane.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could take it at more speed than what you can, and it's just not at all what you think.
It's like Jorge's already starting to build a bit of a lead out here.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Like Racer 51's got Lyric all over his bumper.
Yeah, Racer 51's got to play some defense to hold on to that position early on, which is keeping him from hanging on to Jorge. And that does nothing but benefit Jorge, so he can push out there and run time trial laps, basically. Coming up on the Banky Boy here soon, I believe. Yep.
Yep, coming down the long straight. This is where all that slipstream comes into effect. See, if we go back further, it looks like Rick Shears being challenged by Spazua, who dives it into the Banky Boy.
Oh, some door-to-door there.
There we go.
Look at
And
space
a
given, got
slingshot
the
from
space. It looks like
JK85.
Rick might lose 2 spots in that one.
I will say that the Banky Boy looks very, very scary in VR. I run in VR, and that thing, oh, Rick Shear into the wall.
It looks like he just barely touched it, didn't take any damage.
a little slight glancing off of it. You can do that without picking up damage, I've realized.
Shaggy Doo up on Rick's bumper.
It looks like we got back here 10th, 11th, and 12th. We got a fight going on.
Yeah. Looking like all the CBR guys are back together again.
Together again.
Could be an advantage or disadvantage depending on how they play it out. They could be working as a team here. And
Yeah, if they hook up into a bump draft train in the various straightaways, they can easily get space.
which I'd love to see. I'd love to see it.
Indeed.
Like we go back up and check on with the leaders. Looks like those top 3 are putting some space on the rest of the field, which all seems to be in a bit of a train. Which we've seen this before. Jorge, Racer 51, and Lyric are 3 of some of the fastest guys we've got in the league here. It's no surprise seeing them at the front. We're going to have to watch their tire wear to see if they can maintain this.
Yeah, the guy that recruited Jorge, I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, I know. Who jerk.
I don't know. Although I am glad. The dude's quick.
See, one thing we didn't check on is what is everybody running for tires? What do we think the tire strategy is going to be here?
I'm going to say hards and mediums. That's all we're going to see unless someone decides to pull a Max Verstappen and go on the softs at the very end just to prove a point.
It looks like the top 3 are all on mediums. Wade in 4th place is our first car on hards. Let's see if we just kind of cycle through the field here. Looks like everybody near the back is on hards. It's just those top 3 that are on mediums. So no surprise that they're running away with it, but they're probably going to have to come into the pits before everybody else. So we'll see how that all plays out.
And that's the general strat in any kind of ranked racing. I think that we've all discovered is if you're in general P5 and back, some people say P3 and back, or if you're behind P3, some people say behind P5, you start on the harder compounded tires, and then when those are run dry, you come out and switch for the softer compound, just so you don't burn them up in the pack, try and pass everybody.
Yeah. I might have to be the oddball and say start on the worst tire, go on to the faster one. But that's always been my MO.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I certainly do that myself if I'm halfway back or more at the start. But if I'm in the top half, I generally take the better tire and just try to get away like these top three are doing.
Right.
Yeah, they are definitely pulling away. For sure.
And we've definitely haven't had a lot of battles for position, but certainly have a train going on. I mean, these guys are staying together. They're well within the slipstream.
Yeah.
Kind of just waiting for somebody to make a mistake, right?
Yeah. Or, you know, it's still early in the race. I mean, it's only 15 laps, but that...
Spazua got in the back of Wade there just a little bit.
Touch.
Didn't affect anything, though.
No. They could be waiting to get on the better compounded tire and then really start getting after it. 'Cause, I mean, you start really pushing it as we see JK85 tap the wall there in the background. Losing a little bit of speed. Looks like Rick Shear's going to try to make a move. And he sticks it.
All right. Let's see, if we go back a little bit further, we get back to Jimmy K9. A little bit of a gap there from him up to Shaggy, and then he's got the CBR guys just trying to hang with him. .207.131 on that lap. Checking with the leaders here again. These top three, they're just checking out. Jorge's right on that limit of being where he's lost Racer 51 for the draft. But now that we get onto these long corners, if he can keep that, that'll keep Racer 51 from being able to hang in there. He might be able to start gapping them a bit.
Yeah. Looks like they've all three of them have built a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, although they're close together, they're kind of running their own race right now.
Leo, do better. Alright, fine. Alright, so it looks like we got Racer 51 chilling. Are we on race 1 or race 2? I have no idea how late I am.
We are still in race 1, Toon. Welcome to the broadcast.
Okay, then I'm out. Y'all have fun.
See you in a bit.
I'm gonna go eat my Chipotle in peace. I thought I was running way late.
No,
you are just fine.
All right. Well, then before I go, hi everybody. How's it going? Hope you're well. Happy Friday. What do we got here? We've got Spazua. That's an interesting one. Sitting at about what? A little under half a second behind Wade, his teammate in Cornbread Racing. So Sal, what did for those of us just tuning in, what did we miss in qualifying, and what is the skinny so far in terms of the race situation?
Well, so far, no surprise. Jorge Jr. Qualified on the pole. We had 3 drivers get under the 204 mark within qualifying leading into this. So very fast qualifying times being put down. These top 3 drivers all are running on the medium tire. Almost everybody else in the field is running on the hard tire, hence the separation. So really the question we've got in our mind now is just how far ahead can those top 3 get? And is that going to be enough for when they have to come in to pit?
Well, I will offer this insight before I depart. Last night when Leo was doing practice, Jorge Sr. was in there, and he had a 28-second gap when he went into the pits to Leo, and by the time that Jorge got out of the pits, he still had a 10-second lead. So you can estimate a pit stop taking anywhere between 18 to 22 seconds. So if they have a gap larger than that, then there is a strong possibility they could earn themselves a free pit stop. Now, Leo, do you expect to see anybody going on a no-stop strategy with these cars?
I'm gonna call them brave if they do. I highly doubt it, but you never know. 'Cause
Also,
tried
I
it,
see
didn't
Shaggy.
work.
Is Shaggy in the Group 4C? Why isn't he in the 155?
The four-wheel drive cars apparently eat the tires.
I see. Then the guys in the Lamborghini are boned.
Yes.
Yeah, that was going to be kind of the story here, is that those that are in the front-wheel drive and the all-wheel drive cars are certainly seem to be suffering more tire wear than those running with the rear-wheel drive configuration.
Yeah, Toon, and even I brought up earlier, I'm surprised we're not seeing any McLarens out there.
Well, aren't the McLarens in a later split?
Yes.
I'm talking about for this particular split, considering the McLarens are so good on tires.
You know, it looks like Racer 51 has lost quite a bit of time here. I didn't see it. Did anybody notice if anything actually happened to him? He's dropped back from Jorge and Lyric quite a bit. He doesn't have any damage.
I think it might just be.
Looks like
tire.
Yeah, I think it could just be a case of his tires are wearing off too fast. Because if you look, he's got about half life on the front, and his rears are doing fine. But I mean, that is a Supra, and Group 3 Supra, sure, fantastic car. But the Group 4, I'm not sure. But we do have somebody in the box right now. Oh, and they just left the box. But anyway, y'all have fun. I'll be back in about, what, 20-ish minutes?
Sounds
Right around there.
Yep, sounds good, Toon. We'll see you for Split 2.
Yep, see y'all for Split 2. Leo, I will be watching intently.
Alrighty. You gonna try to say my name as many times as possible?
I mean, I can even sing it if you want.
I don't think anybody wants to be exposed to that, Leo. Or Toon.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm gonna give it a go ahead.
Leo.
There we go. I love it. I love it.
Alright, have fun.
Alright.
See you, man.
Well, so like Toon was saying, Cornbread had come into the pits. He is now on the soft tires with 10 laps to go. We think that's a good strategy. That is a bold one. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it 10 whole laps on soft tires.
I'm going to go ahead and answer that now. No. Maybe 4. But he could be doing that to try to make up some time? Question mark?
And who knows? Maybe he had some damage. Maybe he had a penalty. Who knows? But it looks like first and second have definitely gone off into their own dimension here. I mean, Jorge Sr. 4 seconds ahead of second, and Lyric 5 seconds ahead of Racer 51, who he himself is 2 seconds ahead of Spazua. Yeah, I wonder if the tire wear is starting to get to him more so than the top two. He had very similar tire wear to what we saw with Jorge, but Wade's CBR is starting to reel him in.
I wonder if he's going to let me calm it down a little bit, let me stop putting so much heat in the tires and wearing them out, and just backed off on his speed.
Yeah, and the Supras are known for being very fast top end wise, but they're also known for being really squirrely and hard to drive. And you know, you slide the car around, you end up burning off more tires than than you want to, and you end up dropping back like that. So we see
Cornbread back in the box, getting on the mediums. I wonder if his strategy was just to do 2 stints of mediums and just needed a couple more laps. Might as well do them on softs, I guess.
I think I know what happened. Wrong button press.
That's also possible.
Well, and one thing that we need to remember, racing hards are required in this race.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, did anybody remember? Did he start? He must have started on the hards.
He did.
Yeah, he probably went to softs by accident.
We only had the top 3 on the mediums, and the rest, everybody else was on the hards. So, I'm thinking it was a misclick. Or it could be part of his strategy. But I'm leaning more towards I misclicked. And as we get a sick drift from Spazua.
So
Deja vu.
Looks like we got Jorge coming into the pits to get off the mediums, and Lyric. I would imagine Racer 51 is probably going to follow suit. Let's see how far behind the rest of the pack they end up.
Wow, here's the switch up. These guys are coming in a little bit earlier because of the medium tires, and now everybody else is on the hard still. I'd say everybody else is going to come in.
Ooh, that is
around lap 10.
That is a really quick pit stop. He came out in 6th. 6.8 seconds behind the leader.
Got a little squirrely on them hards. Yikes.
Old tires, man.
Oh, they're warm now. They're definitely warm now. Going from the better compound to the lesser compound, it's a drastic change.
Yeah.
I mean, Shaggy being on the hard tire, running him down. He's got a little wear on there.
He's probably going for the no stop.
He might be. I mean, we're almost halfway there. 7.5 laps is halfway. And they're about at that point, and his tires are nowhere near 50% eaten up yet. Now, granted, they do start to wear faster as you get further into the run.
Yeah.
But for now, he looks like he could do a solid no-stopper.
Yep, that's probably why he's in the 4C, so he can get away with that. And we know Shaggy, he will run the tires until they don't exist anymore. Well, used to be able to, but unfortunately with the physics update, that is no longer the case. But he will do it if he has to.
All right, well, at this point now we have our new leader, Wade CBR. Remember, anybody who leads a lap gets 5 bonus points, so Wade has chalked up some extra points by leading the pack of racing hard tire runners. And he's got a second lead on Spazua, so he's pretty comfortable up here in the lead.
Yeah, he's playing the long game, because look, his hard tires are actually better than Shaggy's. So he might also be doing a no-stopper.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Well, and depending on whether or not he could hold off Jorge. Jorge came in on lap 7. If Wade holds on to the lead for the next 8 laps, I mean, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. He could also claim the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps.
Yep. I thought he didn't pit, but it looks like on his timesheet there, he pit around 4 and 5.
No, there's the P's there, but I think that's a glitch in the game because the times aren't any different.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then. Just kidding. So he might also be on the no-stop strategy if it works out. He's got the tires to do it. Actually, more tires than probably any of these guys at the moment.
Yeah, Spazua and JK85 looks like both of them have a little more tire wear than Wade. So Wade's, sitting in a good spot right now.
Like we were saying, them Lamborghinis are four-wheel drive too.
Yeah.
Right.
Once again, your selection of car always goes down to, what you prefer. I remember going back to talking about the Red Bull Ring race in the wet, and I went with that Renault, I believe it was, and Shaggy was suggesting I go with the Lamborghini, but I had already practiced so one car. I didn't want to switch it up right before the race. But at the end of the day, your car choice is up to how you like to drive, your particular style.
Indeed. Tell me about it. What you're most comfortable with, and if you're comfortable with it, you can be fast in it.
I think Shaggy found his way around Rick Shear because he was just ahead of Jorge, and now he's ahead of Rick as well. So Shaggy picking up a spot up to 4th position.
They've been just chilling this entire time, letting people roll out in the pits and doing their thing, and now he's putting the hammer down. Ooh.
Rick had a peek on the inside there.
Yeah, he did. He was definitely looking.
Jorge back there licking his chops too. We know he's fast. Probably still trying to get used to the hard tires here, but he's certainly going to not feel the effects of those tires for a while yet, whereas the two in front of him, eventually their pace is going to start to fall off. And Jorge went quite a bit wide back there.
Yeah, they've been going really wide into that turn. Where exactly are the track limits back there? Did he get a pen for that?
You know, I've seen everybody doing that, Chuck, and no, I've not seen anybody get a pen for it. So I wonder if there is no penalty line there.
Yeah, NASCAR Watkins Glen line. So.
That's what it was looking like. Turn 1? Nah, that's still straight in NASCAR terms.
Yeah. If anybody if anybody in the chat watches any kind of road race when it comes to NASCAR, because of the way the cars are set up, they've got to take a lot wider lines in these hairpins, and it just is crazy how far out the track limits are in places like Watkins Glen and all the other road courses. And
like
no doubt.
Lyric got around Jimmy K9 here.
Go.
Looks like we just got on the long straight and just simply drove on past him.
Porsche on Porsche action. I like it.
We know Lyric's fast. He was up in the top 3 to start with. Finds himself back in 8th position right now. Really trying to work his way up through the field. I mean, he's got those hard tires on, but they have virtually no wear so far.
By the way, Leo, it's Porsche, not Porsche.
Porsche. Well, you can't hear it through my Texas accent. Anyway.
Man, we got this battle for what, 6th, 5th, 4th, and 3rd, all right there. Spazwa's got a little bit of a gap on Shaggy, but they've kind of closed in on him. Spazwa's tires are starting to get down there. They are now below 50%. He's certainly going to start feeling the lap times start to get away from him now, and you can see that on the right-hand side. He went from a 206 to a 207 to a 208.
Yeah, they're dropping quickly.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd pit very soon. If not, would have pitted a lap or two already ago.
Yeah.
Well, as you get later on through the laps, you kind of get to a point where if you've only got like 2 laps left, it's probably not worth it to pit, and then you just have to ride it out. You know, it's one of those, you kind of need to decide. If you're going to pit, you need to do it at the right time. If you don't, you may have missed your window, and then it's not worth it anymore.
Right.
Looks like Jorge is really caught up to Rick.
Oh, poke it in there.
He's gotten his groove back on that hard tire. But he just went into the grass a little bit, so the next couple of turns will be a little sketchy on that Supra.
Yeah. Can we go back real quick and look at Jorge's tires? Yeah, okay, so he's probably going to start feeling them pretty soon, if he hasn't already.
Jorge's tires look pretty good.
Yeah.
Rick ahead of him they're down to like 2/3 gone.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we mentioned earlier that Renault handles pretty well. But that's only going to go so far until these tires start to wear out. I mean, Jorge's got 4.7 seconds to the leader with less than 4 laps to go and 5 cars to get around on the way. Yeah, those guys go really wide in that corner.
Yeah, they do. Well, I know what I'm doing this next race.
Yeah, I'm going to have to remember that next time we go there, is that particular turn. Just take it really wide.
Check back in with the leaders. Looks like 1 and 2 we got a battle. They're only about a half second different. But Wade's been able to hold on to this lead ever since the medium tire guys came in for the pit stop.
the Banky boy at the end of this straight.
I mean, CBR 1, 2, 3. They got to be happy about that.
Oh, I'm sure they are. They're probably ecstatic about it.
Yeah. You know, there's
I'm also seeing 3 PHG members right behind them. And it looks like Jorge Sr. just got around Rick Shear.
And there's a turn like that Banky boy. And, little door-to-door action there.
Trying to get it done. Rick's not letting him go without a fight. Oh, looks like he finally got it.
Yep. So, the Banky boy, there's let's go back and take a look, see at this pass.
Well, see, he had it done. And then Rick started to battle back. Ooh, man, going through those S's, you got to be so careful.
Nice, clean racing. Nice and clean. That's how we like it.
Gave each other space. Now Jorge's got Shaggy in his sights. He's caught him pretty quick.
Using that power, that Supra.
So yeah, that Banky boy, there's a turn like that at Trial Mountain actually. Once you come out of that big long tunnel, there's been times where I've managed to pass people on the outside, and I don't know how I got it to stick, but using that banking to your advantage, and it's a roller coaster ride around it. So that's one of the Banky boy reminds me of that turn at Trial Mountain.
Jorge getting a little loose there. He's pushing it hard.
Well, he's got the tires to do it. So he's deciding on pushing it now. Now would be the time.
Check back in with the leaders. Man, JK85 is still all over Wade.
That scares me. That definitely scares me because his tires on that Lamborghini are probably on fire right now. Yes.
Yeah. There is over 2 laps to go. I don't know if that tire's going to make it.
I'll be shocked if it does. So we just start seeing him randomly go straight when it's a turn and his inputs are turning. We know why. The tires are done.
Check back in with Shaggy and Jorge. Shaggy's still holding him off. And he's still got a third of his tire left. So, I mean, they're not... I mean, he's probably feeling the effects, but knowing Shaggy, like we mentioned, he likes worn tires.
Yes, he does. And looks like he is going for that no pit strategy, I think.
Oh, Jorge trying to make the move.
Right side.
Let's see, Shag. Yeah.
Nice clean pass. That's one of the most intimidating things you can have is Shaggy do in your rear view mirror. I've had it happen to me a couple.
I see they just come down the straight to the start-finish line, and Jorge got the slipstream and the power from that Supra. I don't think there was anything Shaggy could have done about that.
Yeah.
No. And already is catching up to Spazwa. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, knowing Spazwa's tires are also just about dead, so...
They're screaming. They're saying, please stop. Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah.
Let's see, do we have any battles going on near the back here? It looks like Jimmy K9, Racer 51, way back in 10th place. He was in 2nd at the beginning, but Jimmy K9, his tires are even more dead with a lap and a half left to go. Racer 51, on the other hand, has plenty of tire left.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jimmy's tires are not going to make it this lap. They will be dead.
Yep, Racer 51 got that one out of the way. Takes 9th place. Here we got Lyric, another one of our front runners, finds himself mired back in 7th place. kind of on an island. He's got a lot of space around him, just trying to do some catch-up with those fresher tires.
I mean, Sal, that is P Island, or Island Grown 777. 7. So,
well played, sir. All right, now we're starting the final lap. Wade has led 7 the last 7 laps.
Yep.
See if
Oh, JK, he's still got some tire, but
yeah, let's see if Jake.
that car's got to be a handful to drive right now.
Look at his steering inputs here.
Yeah, looks like that turn said yes.
He's being smooth.
Please turn. Yeah. One mistake on that car and it's done for him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, you know, this goes to these drivers' skill level. He's got his tires just screaming at him, and he is still putting the pressure on Wade.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we don't want to lose track of 3rd and 4th place here. Jorge is within a half second of Spazua as well. So we got 2 good battles right here at the front. They're about halfway through the lap. Coming to the big banky boy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, luckily you get so much grip because of the fact that you're up on the wall. That even with worn tires, you can really send it in through there. But now once you come into these S's, worn tires are really going to make your car push. He's able to keep the throttle pinned.
If anybody makes a last lap desperation move, they're going to just stay 1-2.
Only a handful of turns left.
Yep.
No, I think Wade might have it just on the tire advantage alone.
Yep, coming in through the final corner. Got Wade's CBR. Looks like he's going to take first place. Jorge, trying to make a move at the line. Doesn't quite get it. Jorge finishing in 4th, Shaggy 5th, Rick Shear 6th, Lyric 7th. Obajito coming in 8th, Racer 51. Definitely not the race he wanted, coming in 9th. Jimmy K9, another good-looking Porsche coming across in 10th place. Wicked going to bring it home in 11th. And Cornbread, unfortunately, with that tire change mistake.
I hate to see it.
Yeah, I hate to see that. Brings it home in 12th. Finishes it off, though. All right, that was a heck of a race. Congratulations to our winner, Wade CBR. Started in 4th position, ended up finishing it off with the victory. All right, Leo, can you take us through the results of this race?
And just give me 1 second here. Sorry. On another page, getting everything ready to go for my split.
Here, I can do it for you.
Yeah, do you mind, Tune?
Thanks for picking up the slack,
right. Not a problem. It's what I do. All right, so taking a look at the provisional classified results, it looks like we have a 1-2 for, actually, I'm sorry, a 1-2-3 for Cornbread Racing. So taking the race victory will be Wade from the aforementioned Cornbread Racing with a total race time of 31 minutes, 52 seconds, .811, and a personal best lap of 206.549. But that was far from the fastest lap of the race. As we make our way down the podium, trailing by just slightly over half a second is JK85 of CBR Racing. And then we have Spazua rounding off our podium. Now, what is surprising is PHG Jorge Sr. in P4. That one I was not expecting with all of the dominant showings we have seen from Mr. Jorge. That one, that has to leave a bitter taste in the mouth. Rounding out our top 5 down the order will be PHG's own Shaggy Doo, followed by Rick Shear, followed by Lyric, who holds the fastest lap of the race with a 2:04.857. Moving our way down into P8, we have Bobajito. Going over into P9, we have Racer 51, followed by Jimmy K9 rounding out our top 10, followed by Wicked from Cornbread Racing, and the man himself, Cornbread, rounding out our racers for this evening.
Well, I mean, that was an exciting race. I mean, it was really a story of two different strategies, right? We had Jorge, Racer 51, and Lyric all starting on the medium tires with the pit stop. Most everybody else did the no-stop strat, and that seemed to have been the winning combination for this split, at least. Jorge made a valiant effort coming back and almost got his way into P3. I mean, one more lap, and he probably would have gotten P3 taken off of Spazua there, but you know, the no-stop strat worked. And the two Huracans really holding on to their cars with their tires absolutely dying at the end. That was fun to watch. Chuck, how'd you like watching this race?
I really enjoyed it. You know, lots of really fast, close racing. Everybody was very clean, which is always nice to see. You know, it's just amazing how fast these guys really are, and I hope to be up there one day. So it's always a pleasure to watch anybody involved in the league's race, but especially the top split guys, and seeing what their strategies are and how they handle situations.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Leo? How'd you think of that?
You know, I quite enjoyed it, man. I expect how it went a little bit. Not suspecting how the top three would fall to the back after that pit stop. That was honestly quite shocking that happened. But overall, I mean, I'm glad I saw, you know, some clean racing. Everybody was giving each other space. Real close battles. I mean, it's always exciting to see that stuff. So,
yeah, definitely. I didn't see any incidents. I mean, obviously we weren't watching every car, but in all the ones we were watching, you know, whatever contact we saw was incidental. There was good, clean racing, lots of space given. Fun race to watch. I mean, it was a bit of a conga line there for a bit, but it was close. I mean, there was a number of times where you had guys within each other just trying to get around, and it was a good one to watch. So,
Yeah.
All right, well, how about this? Let's take a break for a little bit. We got Split 2 getting themselves all queued up. We'll do a little bit of stuff in the background, and then we'll be back in a little bit.
Stay tuned.
I will.
Engines roaring life in the fast lane. PHG, we the name, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go lack. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, ain't looking back. It's a traveler's dream. Might stumble fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Better people. Oh, baby. Better people. Engines roaring life in the fast lane. PHG, we've been named, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go lack. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, ain't looking back. Tires screaming as we take that turn. Fuel and fire in our hearts we burn. Opponents in the mirror, they can't keep up. Keep the throttle down, never
Showtime. Welcome back, everybody, to round 2 of the Gran Turismo PHG World Series exhibition round. And we are now in our second split, as you might have realized at this point. So, for those of you that do not know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Toon, commentary extraordinaire. And I'm joined by two faces you are all very familiar with, Mustang Chuck and Sal. We had a great first run through, and I can't wait to see what the next one has in store. But for those of you just tuning in, let's go and take a look at what we are dealing with. So, for the second round of the PHG GT World Series, we are at Autodrome Lago Maggiore for 15 laps in any Group 4 car of your manufacturer, as you might not be aware. This is a manufacturer series, so at the beginning of the season, every driver got to sign up and pick a manufacturer as their ride or die for this season. Some are going to be riding off to glory, and some are going to be dying in a big ball of flames, especially if you're driving a Mazda 3. Hi, Leo. The racing hard tires are required, but any tires are allowed as long as you do at least one lap on those racing hards. We have a 5 times fuel modifier and a 3 times tire wear burner. So let's go and get a quick peek in on the action.
Qualifying
All
is
right, so we
underway.
Yep.
You guys
Looks
hear me
like-
now?
Sure can. Qualifying is underway as we see everybody hopefully giving some space. I do remember Shaggy, and actually he just said it right now as well. He wants everybody to spread out during qualifying, but it looks like that message was not heard loud and clear as we are on board with Pyro, who does have quite a bit of clean air around him. And it looks like he is going to be finishing his outlap, and he is in the Genesis G70 Group 4 car. Not a bad little car, especially for Group 4. The Group 3 car is also nothing to scoff at. But I don't know, that Group 4 Jenny, something about it. It's a good car. It's right up there with the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo Group 4 car. He's bouncing over the curb, getting a little squirrely, but that might just be connectivity stuff due to PlayStation being PlayStation. And it looks like we also have PHG Speed Burner, also known as Hector! And right behind him. And it looks like Speed Burner is in the Porsche Cayman Group 4 car. Ah, what a good call picking Porsche there, Speed Burner. We love to see it. Coming out of the Banky Hairpin and moving on over to Fast Cougar QC in the Kirby Mobile. I absolutely love Kirby, so I am very pleased to see this. Rocking around in the Group 4 Lexus, and we have Ecstasy in a very colorful McLaren. It looks like kind of like a We Have Golf at Home livery, but I do enjoy the styling of it. As we move over to Papa in his tried and true McLaren, he is looking very clean in that dark blue livery. I see he's got a little bit of a space alien on there, and what else is on there? Let's see. Let me throw this into full screen. Let me get a good look at that picture. All right, and yeah, looks like Papa's doing an Alien Invaders livery for his McLaren this go around. And as we jump back over to C-Dubs, who is in the Ferrari 458 Italia Group 4, I think. I don't know. It's a Ferrari. I don't drive them because, well, they're Ferraris. But, hey, to each their own. And we jump over to Slowpoke Rod CBR in another Ferrari. I guess, yeah, there's that. Hats off to you, you brave souls. And moving over to Dirt McGirt in a bootlegged Camaro Genesis, I guess. It's got a NASCAR inspiration, and unfortunately, Dirt McGirt did run off. That is going to cost him a little bit of time, and here we have Leo2443 in the tire eater itself, the Mazda 3, in his U.S. Army livery. Let's hear it, baby. Go Army. And
Go
moving
Army.
on over to the man, the myth, the legend himself, the driver with the A+ smile, the A+ personality, and A+ driver rating. It is the proprietor, the founder of the NRL, the one, the only, McNaughty. It's so good to actually be able to commentate a race that he's driving in instead of commentating for him. I get to commentate, well, at him. So this is going to be a great one for me. And moving on over to Eddie Vedder's favorite song, Veteran, in his Corvette. Looks like we got a Punisher skull in the back. I don't know, this is actually a pretty nice looking Corvette. And making our way to another Ferrari in RSR Ace R1. A very simple, very minimalistic livery. Nothing too flashy, very clean. I definitely can get behind that. Now making our way back onto Pyro, who is about to finish his first hot lap, it would appear, with a 202, 203, 204. Looks like we'll be seeing a 205-002. Will anybody have an answer for that? As we see Speedburner coming across the line, it looks like there will not be Speedburner at this moment. And Ecstasy has decided to go into the pits. Let's see who else we've got going on here. Judging by the timing board in-game, nobody has managed to beat that 205-002 at the moment. But we still have just over 5 minutes left. Anything can happen, anything will happen. Y'all should know by now, this is GT7, this is League Racing, this is Toon commentating. Y'all know how this game works. As we see, Papa has jumped up into P2 for the time being, only trailing by 0.312 of a second, which also puts him ahead of McNaughty, which also did not expect that. But honestly, knowing, you know, Crown Time himself, it's not a matter of if, it'll be a matter of when. We'll see him jump up. And now we see Leo is on screen as well. I'm going to throw a quick fun fact for you. So when Leo went and beat McNaughty's qualifying time, what was it, yesterday, I was jokingly telling Leo that he's now fired from the NRL for beating him, and we have to do an open casting call for new commentators. And Leo's trying to swear it was a fluke, but I don't know, the way he's driving right now, that may not be the case. And I mean, if McPetty wanted to come in, or McDirty, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see Leo, make a bit of a pit maneuver. It would be justified, all right? It'd be justified. But making our way back up to Pyro, heading up towards the next time check. We're going to have to see if he is on a...
His tires are almost dead. I can't imagine he's actually going to finish this lap off.
You know what? You have a very good point. Yeah, back into the box for Pyro.
Looks like that Genesis was really eating the tires. Papa, on the other hand, has a lot of tire left to disqualify.
He does indeed. Now, isn't the Group 4 Genesis a four-wheel drive car?
You know, I'm not sure.
For those of you watching at home, could you please let us know if the Group 4 Genesis is? Because I'm pretty sure it is, but I want to be 100% sure. Because if it is the case, then, well, that explains why the tires were so dead. Now, I should throw out that a four-wheel drive car, yep, all-wheel drive, thank T-Case. But I should throw out, I guess a four-wheel drive car doesn't mean all that much, because weren't two of the Cornbread Racing guys on the podium in a Lamborghini, which is also a four-wheel drive?
That is correct. They were able to make those hard tires last for 15 whole laps. Granted, they barely lasted, but they did last.
Still made it. That's what counts. Now, it looks like we have McNaughty up in P3 and RSR Aces on a new hot lap after going into the pits over here. So, looking at the timing board so far, P1 to P6 really is less than a second. RSR Ace is just over a quarter of a second behind, and Leo is is pretty much the benchmark for any times over a second behind Pyro, but it's still subject to change. Checkered flag hasn't been waved yet, so there are still tons that could happen. We could see somebody fluke their way to pole position. We could see, somebody absolutely bin it. I don't know. There's too many variables when it comes to racing.
Yeah, we definitely had the guys in first and third position. You know, Pyro, McNaughty, C-Dubs, C-Dubs hadn't, but Pyro and McNaughty have both come in to change tires, so it'll be interested to see if they can lay down something just a little bit faster. Papa trying to increase his lap time too, but he's running on he pitted as well. So everybody pretty much coming in to get some fresh rubber to see what they can do in this qualifying effort.
Yep, and they've got just over a minute and a half to do it, so it's just about Hail Mary season. And this is usually when the miracles are made, the upsets happen. This is really when the drivers usually, crumble or shine under pressure. Now, I also see that Horn's bucket list is eating tacos with TKs. I will do you one better, Horn. You want to go get spicy chicken with TKs. It is a grand old time, speaking from experience. Now, back onto the racing. Yes, we went to I think it was like Dave's Hot Chicken or something here in Columbus when he was in town, and it was a blast. Like, that chicken was spicy, but it was so good. Now,
I'll be the judge of that one of these days.
Yeah, you'll have to try it. It's good. Now, it looks like McNaughty is still in P4, but he is starting his final hot lap of this session. We are just about at, now we have 20 seconds left in the proper qualifying session, so if somebody's going to make it happen and take pole from Pyro, now's the time. As we jump over to RSR Ace R1, who is currently tailing, he's at the back of the little gaggle of cars on their final, I'm sorry, is Ace only on his out lap? Is that correct, or is GT playing a haha on me?
No, it looks like he's just out on an out lap, so this might be a waste of a lap here. I'm not sure.
I guess.
He set a lap and went back into the pit and then came back out.
He had to have at that point. But moving over to Fast Cougar and the Kirby Mobile going through the hairpin, and it looks like is actually holding his own for qualifying speed. It looks like he carried quite a bit of momentum coming out of there. So we could definitely see at least some time being made as...
He is 3/10 up on his best lap.
3/10 up on his best lap will definitely put him closer to the podium. It won't, it won't get him to the podium, but it will definitely get him closer, which would be favorable in some regards. But it all depends on how everybody does take turn one. Can we see Fast Cougar carry the momentum for another time check? I'm not sure. 201, 202, 203. And beats his time by almost half a second. That gives him P4. 0.02 of a second above C-Dubs. Well done. And Speed Burner with a 204. There we go, Hector. Attaboy.
Pulls off that pole position right at the end. I think there's a few guys still finishing up. Looks like the last one just came across the line, so it looks like we've got our qualifying order.
Yep, it looks like we do. And again, with Toon commentating and it being a league race, upsets happen. Buzzer beater, Speed Burner gets pole position with a 204.694. Taking it away from the clutches of PHG Pyro, who had it for all of 9, actually he had that for over 10 minutes. And then it was just like that, just taken like that. That's the beauty of racing. Rounding out our top 3 for the starting grid will be Slowpoke Rods with a 205.050. That is dangerously close to Pyro's 205.002. Like, that is nothing to scoff at. But trailing by only 9 thousandths of a second is Papa with a 205.059. Making our way down the grid and rounding out our top 5 for the starting grid will be PHG Fast Cougar QC with a 205.332, followed by C-Dubs with a 205.352. These times are ridiculously close. McNaughty with a 205.557, 5 thousandths of a second behind. Okay, and then we've got Leo, 7 thousandths of a second behind McNaughty with a 205.564. Let's go. How close? Oh my god, these are close. Okay, RSR Ace with a 205.790, with Speed Bump rounding out our top 10 for the starting grid with a 205.870, followed by Dirt McGirt with a 205.965, S2C with a 206.178, and Vetadan with a 206.402. Like, these guys were really clawing throughout all of this. What are your thoughts on what we just saw, Chuck?
I think it's just amazing. All cars within, under 2 seconds of each other. It's going to provide some really close racing. It's going to be a good one.
Happy to hear that. Sal, what are your thoughts on what we saw?
Yeah, that was amazingly close. Looking at all those times, guys that are, just a few thousandths off, maybe just a tenth off. I have a feeling we're in for a good set of races here. And seeing some of these guys that, just pull it off right at the end, like Speedburner, even Slow Poke Rods from CBR brought it in P3 right at the end as well. So as the laps go by, it seems that some of these guys kind of get into the flow. I'll be excited to see how this race turns out.
Happy to hear that. And for those of you that are driving and wanting to kind of eavesdrop in on the broadcast, tire check.
Tire check. I will say I've driven a Genesis before. A couple years back, I got hit by somebody with no license and no insurance, and my brother-in-law works for Enterprise Car Rental. And he hooked me up with the Hyundai Genesis, and those are nice cars. Those are like very bougie. I couldn't believe how cool it was. Not quite my cup of tea at the end of the day, but they're definitely really nice cars in real life.
And they're quick. I mean, for the longest time, they were the meta cars until a couple of these updates. Now they seem to still be coming back, though. They're quite competitive.
Mm-hmm.
That does raise the question. Do we have any real-life Genesis racing?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure that it's just like it's a virtual car in the game that they tuned just for the game. Or like the Group 3 and Group 4 Mustangs.
Okay, like the Beetle.
It's what it would look like if it was in real life.
Well, they did drive the VGT at Bathurst. But anyway, enough idle chit-chat.
Yeah, fair enough.
We are about to get this race start underway with Speedburner leading the pack. It is a rolling start, and everybody has a bunch of points on the line, so this could be something interesting. Turn 1 is going to be very, it's going to be touch and go with how sharp it is. But they are off, and let's see how Turn 1 shakes up for Speedburner Pyro et al. Holding it tight, getting on the curb, using all the track available. Speedburner is able to do it, and wow, look at that. CBR was able to just shoot past Papa and take P3. Or wait, no, he was already in P3. Well, I guess he was a little late on the brakes. It was a very dramatic run-in, but yeah, you guys get what I mean. But looking at the cars behind, it seems like Speedburner's actually pulling away at this moment. Now, what do they have the can listed as? Is it an FR?
I think it's an MR.
Which car are you talking about?
The Group 4 Porsche.
It's MR. All
MR?
the Porsches, all the racing Porsches are MRs because something having to do with racing regulations where can't have rear-engine, rear-wheel drive cars, which has caused many in the Porsche community to become aghast at, oh my gosh, it's not a real Porsche. It's an MR car, not an RR. Like racing regulations are racing regulations. Yeah. You gotta do.
Yeah, and
You gotta do.
that's true.
More there.
That
Looks
was
like
quite a
Fast
good
Cougar was
corridor.
able to get his way around slowpoke rods here.
There he was. It looks like Papa has unfortunately fallen down into 6th for the time being, so it looks like it's shaken up here in the pack. But for Pyro and Speedburner, they can just kind of focus at least for a moment. And as we see, McNaughty is stuck in a PHG sandwich between Papa and Leo at the moment, so this should be interesting for him. Now, Sal, could we get maybe a chase cam view of McNaughty, see a better view of the action here? Thank you, sir. Okay, so looks like Papa is just pulling away ever so slightly, and McNaughty is... yeah, looks like McNaughty's not able to shake that Mazda 3 at the moment as they come into turn 1 for the second lap. Everybody's starting to bundle up, and looks like Slowpoke Rod had a slow run in there, and C-Dubs might be able to capitalize, getting squirrely on the exit, but it looks like Slowpoke Rods is able to hold on to P4 for the time being. They're all starting to really group up here in this twisty section of the track, and it looks like, will C-Dubs get the run? And C-Dubs did get the run to take P4 from Slowpoke. But for how long? That is the million-dollar question. As we see McNaughty coming in and getting really close to Papa, will he be trying to set up an overtake? Because one really good run could net him not 1, not 2, but up to 3 positions if there's enough overspeed. But that Group 4 Mercedes doesn't see a lot of use, so it's really hard telling. And wow, keeping 2 tires on the curving, just barely within track limits, but within track limits no less, as they move on up the hill towards, what is it, the east end of the... yeah, the west end of the track or something. Oh.
Yeah,
Going up into the
the
penalty
Banky
line.
boy.
Yep, and down the hill into the Banky hairpin. Let's see if anybody's gonna overshoot it, or is anybody gonna go high? No, everybody goes low, and wow, McNaughty got a lot of momentum out of there and just gave a slight bump drop to Papa. It looks like that, oh, there wasn't enough. It looks like Slowpoke slammed the door shut on Papa, and he had to brake, which cost him a position to McNaughty. So as we see McNaughty starting to make his way further and further up the grid, Papa is not done yet. He wants his position back. Who is going to get this P-Steve position? Will it be Papa? Will it be McNaughty? Will it be Slowpoke? Who knows? We're just going to have to wait and see. Anything can happen, folks. I say it all the time because anything and everything does happen. Looks like Leo might be slowly losing position to Ace. He's going to have to keep that door shut himself. Ooh, one wrong move could actually cost Leo 1, 2, 3 positions. As they come across the line, and it looks like Leo is staying too wide with Ace at the moment. Now he has the inside. Will it be enough? And it is. He holds on to P8 for the time being. Fantastic work, Leo, my boy.
Looks like somebody was going off a little bit back there. I don't think they went off, but it looks like they got pushed a little wide.
I did see that too, yeah. Let's see if we can get a better look. Was it Vetterdan? Yep, Vetterdan just carried a little too much speed and understeered off, but was able to get it back on track. He's just going to have to be a teeny to be careful because those dirty tires are a bugger.
Leo, not Leo, Sal, as we're coming up to Banky, can you get a cockpit view on somebody? I'd like to show the people at home what it looks like as close as you can into VR from what I see. Running in VR, coming up to the Banky boy. It's insane.
Hang on, why is Fast Cougar in 2nd and why is Pyro in 4th?
I mean, just look at this coming up. Imagine this being in VR. You don't quite get the same experience, but it's just... it looks way bigger in VR. Wow.
Oh, I leveled it, but then again, with a PSVR 2 headset, you do have the full FOV, so... Oh! Pyro's in auto drive right now. Maybe he had to pause the game real quick and step away.
No, I had seen that he had his flashers on at the beginning. Being in VR, he might not realize that he's got his hazards on.
Yeah, that's entirely possible too.
Okay, I didn't know Pyro was a VR driver. You dang VR driving kids and your fancy headwear.
I can never race any other way. It's truly an experience. I love it.
Yeah, it looks like Speedburner is really just checked out on the field, whereas the whole rest of the field has got some good tight racing going on.
Yeah, it does look like everybody is bunched up, but we didn't figure this out. What tires is Hector on right now?
He is on the mediums.
Okay. Okay. Let's do a quick cycle, see if we can count how many people are on the mediums. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Pyro's on the hards. That might be one of the reasons that he's falling behind.
Maybe. Slowpoke's on the hards, McNaughty's on the hards, Papa's on the hards, Ace is on the hards. Verdam's on the mediums, so that's 4 medium drivers. Let's see, Leo's on hards, hard. Okay, so 4 out of 13 drivers are on hard, or 4 are on medium. My apologies. But is the advantage that the mediums give you in terms of grip worth the unnecessary pit stop if your car could go from start to finish on hards?
Well, and that's the thing we saw in the first split, was that the medium runners got, at least the top 2 medium runners got a heck of a lead, but they weren't able to hold it. They didn't get the free pit stop, and the guys who did the no-stopper, the top 3 were all no-stoppers.
Okay, so these medium runners might be in trouble towards the latter half of the race.
Yeah, 'cause you got to bear in mind all that time you're on pit road. There's no competition between the crews, right? To be, who's faster. So, whoa! That's Cougar.
Yeah, Fast Cougar was running in second place, but went a little wide coming out of the Banky Boy, dropped all the way back to 5th now. Which puts Pyro back up into second place.
It does put Pyro back up in second place, and it also puts Papa and McNaughty with an extra obstacle, but it also actually does get them closer to a top 5 finish if they're not able to capitalize on more positioning when the medium runners go into the pits.
And I'll be willing to bet that Pyro were down to that had a lot and going wide and swirling like that down the Banky Boy.
That could, yeah. We never really actually. Have you guys ever seen, like in a daily race, somebody unironically driving the Lexus? Like the Group 4 Lexus, not the Group 3 or the Group 2.
No, I haven't, but I haven't done a daily race in a very long time.
Yeah, it's fair. Sal, what about you?
Yeah, kind of same here. I've been avoiding the daily races myself for the most part, so I think the Lexus is actually an underrated car, especially the Group 3, but I think the Group 4 isn't really a slouch either. It just doesn't get a lot of use.
Could it be one of those cars that everybody's been sleeping on then?
I think so. I don't think that it's a meta car. I think it's a lot like the Porsche in that it's good and it's competitive. It isn't necessarily the best, but it's far from the worst.
It's more of an all-round.
Yes.
Okay, well there you have it, folks. Here's your top tips from dear old Toon, Sal, and Mustang Chuck. First tip, stay away from the daily races. Second tip, if you're a masochist and you want to do a daily race, get the Lexus. Easy
Looks
as
like
that.
Papa was able to take that position off of Fast Cougar. Got himself up to P5.
Would we be able to get a replay and see the okay?
I think it is too far away. It was on the long straight. I think I missed it.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. But now let's see if Fast Cougar can take that position from McNaughty, from Papa, or is McNaughty going to be able to take P6 from him and push Fast Cougar down into P7?
Yeah, McNaughty's tires are definitely doing a lot better than Fast Cougars are.
They are indeed, but how are they doing in comparison to Papa's tires?
Yep. The
Okay,
McLaren
Papa's-
is notoriously good on tires and seems to be holding its own.
Yeah, and a tire wear race, that's what we need. So those that those that signed with the McLarens, you guys definitely have a slightly easier race. I mean, this race is far from easy. It's Lago Maggiore, and it has, what, like 14 different layouts or something? So...
Yeah, if we look at C-dubs here, running the medium tire, we're on lap 6 in this Ferrari, and his tires are pretty far down. If we check in on Pyro, who's running on the hards, his tires are halfway down. I don't think Pyro is going to be able to do a no-stopper, even with the hard tire. That Genesis looks to just be eating him up.
I know, so respectfully, I think guys might be playing tricks on you. He's worried about just under a third of tire life on, like, a third of a tire life gone on those hards. So, I don't know. We're halfway through the race and he's still got that much tire life left. I could definitely see Pyro pulling a no-stopper, but that's got to put some pressure on Speedburner up in the front, because not only is Pyro slowly starting to gain, but Speedburner's going to have to get off those mediums, and he's probably going to have to do it within the next 2 or 3 laps. So unless he can get a larger gap between himself and Pyro, he's going to wind up losing that position to Pyro. And sure, he could have fresher tires, but they are hard tires, so he'll arguably already be running slower than what he was. And by the time he's out of the pits, Pyro's going to be probably anywhere from 10 to 14 seconds ahead of him. So this is definitely less than ideal. But as we make our way over to Papa, who will now be taking P3 off of C-Dubs, who goes into the pits because he chose the Ferrari. He comes across the line with the 207. No Ferraris. Do you know many Ferraris? Anyway, cards reference.
I just want to talk about McNaughty for a second here. You know, like, running the Merc, I've driven it a few times, and it's crazy how well he controls that thing, because I can't get him to turn. It's just me personally. It's the muscle car of Germany, right? And I can't get it to handle. And it's to his skill as a driver to be able to hang on to that car like he can and get it to turn.
I mean, he does have an account called Mick AMG Only, bruh. Like, this is his bread and butter. This is his wheelhouse. Now, as we touched on McNaughty and his AMG, I also want to quickly throw out, after this is done, if you guys want more racing action, if you want to have some fun, real competitive racing with unique challenges depending on what split you're in and the day you are on, please heavily consider signing up for the NRL. Now, I will throw out, it is a paid entry, but you do have the opportunity to walk away with money in your hands for playing a game you probably already spent a lot of time playing. So, if you want good racing, you want top tier commentary from myself, TCase, and more, then come sign up for the NRL when it's announced. We're still waiting. Day 104 without NRL, baby. It'll come, don't worry. It'll be worth the wait, but consider signing up for the NRL. It is unlike anything else in Gran Turismo, and I'm not saying that because they pay me, it is just that good. Now jumping on board, ooh, little door-to-door action there, but looks like no damage was done, and it looks like the overtake was made. That was a very, very clean overtake from Vetterdan. Now, as we see Fast Cougar going to the pits and Vetterdan going into the pits, it looks like these mediums are now and Leo's, oh, right, he's in the Mazda.
You know the medium Mazdas.
Oh, that's great. Oh. I forgot he was in the Mazda for a second, so I'm like, wait, why is he getting off of the hards? And that's just, oh, wait, it's the Mazda 3. It's literally the only car that will burn through the hards. Oh, Lord.
Let's look back at Speedburner. When you said you thought he should have hit a lap or two ago, his mediums are almost dead. But he's still maintaining a good, interval between Pyro.
It does look like his lap times are coming down.
Yeah, his lap times are slowly coming down.
Yeah, obviously from my name and everybody knows I'm a Ford and a Mustang guy, but Porsche is definitely my favorite European brand, and they're doing quite well right now.
Yeah, checking on with Pyro here, it looks like he's also been putting in some 207s and 206s the last few laps, so he's trying to make those hards work, but doesn't seem to be making up any time on Speedburner yet.
No, it doesn't appear to be so, but I also want to throw out, with the state of Pyro's tires, I'm kind of concerned on whether or not Pyro actually will make it now that they're really starting to burn away. So we might actually see Pyro go into the pits as well. But
are you saying I was right, Toon?
I am saying you were right. I was mistaken. There wasn't enough information to, you know, really go for it.
I just like to hear it, thanks.
Yeah, you know what, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, McNaughty just came in, and Speedburner's in, so let's see where they end up coming out as. Papa's still with plenty of tire wear left, starting lap 9.
Yep, starting lap 9, Papa is now in P2 on those racing hards. They've barely been chipped away, but with McNaughty and also Speedburner going into the pits, we know Speedburner's going to have to hop on the hards. But the million-dollar question is, what tires will McNaughty be hopping on? Because there's 6 laps left. Will he be brazen enough to try and do a soft run in that Mercedes? Or will he hop on the mediums and try and get some extra momentum on the people on the worn hards and also on the worn mediums that haven't gotten into the pits yet?
I think what we saw from Split 1 that there's really no chance that you can make the softs last for 6 or 7 laps. So I'd be fairly confident he's on mediums. Let's see, we can check in quick. And sure enough, he took the mediums.
All right.
Looks like Fast Cougar is on the hards. And C-Dubs is also on the hards. So I believe they all started on the mediums.
That they did. So, yeah. All of our medium runners should be on the hards now. And some of our hard runners are really starting to feel it at this rate because look at those. They are being chewed through right now. But looking at the replay, we see Slowpoke coming in too wide with Ace and getting the overtake done, going into the Banky hairpin and just trying to pull away as best as he can. But worn hards, I don't know. You're pretty much going from driving on ice to driving on broken ice. And at what point do you fall through?
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like the Ferraris are probably not going to make these hards last. It doesn't look like a no-stopper is going to be in the cards for them.
No, it would appear not. So
looks like Speedburner at this point, he's still 9 seconds out of the lead, but is caught up to Slowpoke, and he's got his fresh set of hards on. You know, depending on just how long Pyro can last, Speedburner may take over first place when this is all said and done.
Yeah, Speedburner could indeed make up some places, but I mean, 9 seconds in 5 laps, that is an uphill battle. Like that is a very tall order. Now, Speedburner using the slipstream from Slowpokes to try and gain a little momentum, sure, that works, fair enough. But I don't know.
I think at this point, Papa is his competitor. Papa's the only other one that I think can make it on the tires. Pyro will be out. So with Papa being 2.8 back from Pyro, it's about 7 seconds to have to make up with fresh tires. We'll see.
Yeah. Fresh, hard tires, we should, put a little emphasis on.
Right. Yeah, Speedburner looks like he did get around Slowpokes, so he's got, 7.3 seconds to Papa with almost 5.5 laps left to go.
And how are Pyro's tires looking right now? Because we know Papa's are fine. Oh!
Oh!
Okay.
Yep. Pyro may have to come in on this lap. Maybe he's going to try to stretch it one more, but, I mean, the writing's on the wall. He's going to have to come in before the end of the race. Might as well do it now.
And what's the
This is
interval
also-
between Papa and Speedburner?
It was 7
interval between
seconds.
yeah, it's 7 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Now, unless, you know, Pyro's full name is PyroDo88, I don't think we're going to be seeing him try and run on dead tires.
Looks like he is going around for one more.
All right, well, hats off to you, you brave soul. But that also means that Speedburner could indeed pull off a miracle. And it looks like McNaughty is also starting to fight his way back up the grid on those medium tires. Was that enough to get a penalty, though? He took a lot of the inside there. And it would appear not. Oh, my Lord. Well done, Speedburner. That was fantastic. Now, the gap between Speedburner and Papa has dropped to 5 seconds, so he did shave off 2 seconds of a deficit in one lap. So, oh my God, now that I think about it and do the math, yeah, Speedburner could actually overtake Papa and regain the race lead if he carries this momentum. So, all I gotta say is drive, Hector, drive! Jumping on board with Leo on the racing mediums, getting off those hards, and well, looks like, yeah, he'll have plenty of tire life left, so Leo should be able to make some positioning, but at this rate, it's going to be the ever-mounting challenge of trying to get around McNaughty, because McNaughty is just a great driver, and Leo's a great driver too, but I don't know. I think it's the experience, because McNaughty's an A-plus driver. Oh, and Vetter Dan is off in the dirt for a second doing a spot of rally crossing, and everything seems to be fine now. Now, we do also have, you know, this is a very confusing split. Like, we could all agree on that. This is very confusing because Pyro, Speedburner, McNaughty, Fast Cougar, like, what are they doing in split 2?
I honestly don't know. I don't know.
I think it's just one of those where we've got some new guys that have come in, CBR, that have been able to put in some fast lap times, and it might just be also part of the fact that this is a manufacturer's race. You know, with Pyro taking the Genesis, he didn't really have any other option with and with a car that just burns through tires that fast, even especially on the softs. If I recall right, peeking in on some of the qualifying, they only really had like 2 laps and their softs were dead. So trying to get a good fast lap in, it might be that their car has just kind of hindered them for this particular race.
You know what? Looking at it that way, yeah, that could be the case, but I would also like to defer you back to last week's race where the aforementioned drivers were in split 1. Honestly, maybe it's just these drivers aren't used to Group 4, or they just don't like Group 4, so they're not as fast in it? Could that be a possibility?
Certainly. And again, we talked about that in split 1 too. The fact that we have split qualifying every week allows some drivers who just shine in particular cars or at particular tracks to make their way up into top split. And, you know, some of the guys we're used to seeing in top split may suffer at a particular track or with a particular group car. So that very well could play into it.
Very much so, but we are, you know, 3 laps away from the checkered flag, so it's a guessing game. Oh, I just took a look at Pyro's front lap.
Oh, wow. That thing is...
Yeah, Pyro is cooked. Also, do I see some damage on the front right of Pyro's car? Yeah, that might be what dropped him from 2nd to 4th earlier. May have had a bit of contact with a wall or something. But yeah, that front right is definitely dinged up.
Yeah, let's see if he's going to bring it in. I would imagine he's got to bring it in here coming out of the final turn.
Surely he has to. But now that I said surely, he's not going.
Oh my God.
There we go. There we go. Every time Toon says surely, they go and do it anyway. Like, surely he's going to pit. Nope, not going to do it. Surely he's not going to get a pen. He does.
Dude, stop calling me Shirley.
I'm calling you Shirley.
And we
also,
can see
I
that.
want to throw out
We can see that Speedburner has really closed that gap on Papa. It's down to a 2.7 second lead. 3 laps to go.
Hector's smelling blood in the water right now. He is going in there like crazy. Come on. This is going to get really interesting in the next couple of laps. Because with the way Speedburner is dropping that gap, Papa's and Pyro's tires are, you know, looking a little worse for wear. Pyro's way more than Papa's. But,
Pyro.
it looks like, yep, Pyro's losing too much time.
Yeah, I'm going to make a prediction here. Papa overtakes Pyro. Pyro or Speedburner gets held up by Pyro, and Papa takes it.
You see, I could see that happen. I really could. But Speedburner did fight his way through everybody else after that pit. So getting around Pyro is going to be another day at the office.
We shall see.
And as we come into the hairpin, Papa is sending up the inside, and Papa takes the lead. Well done, Papa. Very hard fought P1. But for how long will you have it? That is the million-dollar question. I see golf claps. I actually have something queued up for if or when Speedburner takes the lead from Papa. So we're all good here.
Pyro in the wall.
Ooh! Yep, Pyro got very squirrely, and looks like Speedburner will be able to get around Pyro. So Papa.
A whole lot more interesting.
Yep. Did Pyro sustain damage? No, he did not. He just understeered off, and yeah, that front is gone. That is gonzo, folks. Let's take a look at what happened here. And just understeered. Oh, just kind of skid against the wall and didn't take any damage. That was very lucky. All right, and now Pyro goes into the pits and is getting off of those hards. Looks like Slowpoke has... I don't know if Slowpoke can make it, but looks like we got a battle between Speed Bump and McNaughty going on as well. Ooh, McNaughty is 700, 600. Actually, no, just overtaking Speed Bump. All right. Well, GG, job's a good one. Let's go see what's happening back up front with Papa and Speedburner, because I know that gap is getting really slow after we take a look at these sponsored replays. And looks like McNaughty just had the overspeed, or really sent it up the inside. Really lasted a late breakers and was able to make it stick. That is what pure driving skill looks like. And oh, we have a battle, folks. Can we get a nice little bumper cam here for Speedburner? All right, chase cam works. And ooh, looks like Papa might be able to, ooh, bonnet cam, yes. All right, hopping on the bonnet cam on the penultimate lap. Will Speedburner be able to get the overtake on Papa? Looks like he's got quite a bit of speed carrying through. Ooh. And is he giving Papa a slight bump trap? Nope. Oh, this is going to get interesting coming into the Banky boy. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Will Speedburner try and send it up the inside on Papa? And, oh, looks like he does! Which means Speedburner takes the lead! All right, fantastic. Speedburner retakes the lead where he started. And this is going to be very interesting for the next lap because Papa is right up Speedburner's chuff. They might have a knockdown, drag-out fight for the remainder of this race. Coming into the double apex corner, and it looks like Papa lost a little bit of momentum, but he's still within slipstream range. Papa's definitely going to be trying to keep his sights locked on Speedburner.
Just look at Papa's tires right now.
Oh, look at his fuel tank, too. I mean, luckily he's got enough fuel, but those tires, no, I think he's the victim of those tires.
Well, with only one lap to go, he'll certainly make it, but he is going to be suffering. He's definitely got to be feeling it. Those tires have got to be affecting his handling at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look how gingerly he has to go around some of these corners. And jumping on over to Fast Cougar, who just sends it up the inside of Ecstasy. And now takes P10. Let's go and get another lookie. Oh, knows Leo, my apologies. All right, coming in towards the final corner. What happens here? Just sends it up the inside. Looks like Leo just accidentally left the door a little too far open. But will Fast Cougar... So wait, where was Ecstasy? Oh, Estacy's right there. I didn't even see him. Okay, Ecstasy was pretty much being Fast Cougar's shadow. Very well played. Yeah, ooh, Fast Cougar's definitely going to get a pen for that one. He was way off.
Well, we were actually talking about that in the last one, too. track limit area is really, really wide out there.
Oh, okay. Also, I want to throw out McNally's about to get P3 off a slowpoke because those tires are just as dead as Pyro's were. Like, yeah, and McNally's on the mediums, and goodbye, like he was standing still.
Like I said, he's a great driver. Being able to pilot that Merc all the way up to looking like a podium finish.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a podium finish, but it's not without its wounds because those mediums are definitely on their last legs. As we move on over to Speed Bump, whose fuel life is worse than his tire wear at the moment in the NSX. Okay, I see you. I respect it. Okay. I just didn't expect an NSX. Making our way back up to Speed Burner, who's coming around the last turn for the 15th time of asking and taking the victory. Well done to Speed Burner. Congratulations to Papa for a very hard-fought P2. And it looks like McNaughty will be taking the last podium spot. Congratulations to the man himself with a little bit of a snake. Oh, I thought he was going to... Oh, will we have a drag race? And nope, we don't. Man. We're going to see some side-by-side action for a second. And Vetter Dan coming across the line. All right, Fast Cougar. Ooh, Ecstasy has a pen right there, which will give that to Dirt McGirt because that penalty will be rounded up to a whole second. And what happened to... Oh, the fronts died.
Yep. Those things are fried.
Yeah. I don't know why that car is so bad on tires. McNaughty, I don't want to hear that SLS is bad. You made it look easy. You're in P3, man. But congratulations anyway, sir. Anyway, let's go take a look at those provisional results, shall we? Looking at the tables here, we have Speed Burner in the Porsche Cayman Group 4 Club Sport 2016, taking the race victory after fighting his way back up the grid with a total race time of 32 minutes, 8 seconds, .046, with a total fastest... or a personal fastest lap of a 2:05.992, followed by Papa 2 seconds behind, and Papa fought and clawed and got a 2:07.095 as his personal fastest lap. I know that's not his best, but honestly, you have to make some compromises to conserve some tires. Rounding out our
he
podium,
definitely made up a lot of that space with running the McLaren and how good on tires it is.
Oh, absolutely. And rounding the podium will be the man himself, McNaughty, with a personal fastest lap of 2:06.233. Moving our way down the order, we have RSR Ace and P4, Speed Bump rounding out our top 5, followed by Slowpoke Rods and Pyro and P7, who also had the fastest lap of the race with a 2:05.804. Followed by C-Dubs, and going on over onto the second page, we have Vetterdan, followed by Fast Cougar rounding out our top 10. It's the seed in P11 with an unfortunate 1 second penalty roundup, followed by Dirt McGirt and Leo with a personal fast lap of a 2:06.024. It was a very hard-fought race for many of these drivers, GGs, and some of these drivers were fighting their car more than they were fighting other people, but unfortunately, that's just how manufacturers is sometimes. Sal, what did you think of the race we saw?
Man, that one was intense. It looks like, the strategy we saw in the first race didn't play out quite the same way in this one. Speed Burner with the win did come into pit. Although Papa, who was able to do it as a no-stopper, did come in P2. McNaughty in P3 also was a pitter. So, in this particular case, running the mediums and the hards seemed to work as opposed to trying to do the no-stop strategy. It was really interesting seeing if Pyro could have made those tires last. Because I think if he could have, he was at the front and he had the speed. It's just the Genesis just ate them too much.
Okay. So it seemed as long as you stayed away from the softs, there was really no wrong answer. No wrong answer barring your car.
Right.
But any strategy was viable.
Yeah, it seemed after that first race, there was a dominant strategy, but not so much in the second one. So, And we know darn well, like we mentioned before, there are some very fast drivers here in the second split that, probably find their home in first split quite a bit. So, seeing the good racing go on. And then we saw the NSX. Who was that? Speed bump at the end? We hadn't really talked about him all race. And then he pulls out a P5 at the end.
Yeah, he flew under the radar that entire race. And, I mean, hats off to him for that one. So, yeah, that was a great race. Honestly, if that's what splits 1 and 2 had, I'm curious to see what splits 3 and 4 have tomorrow. Now, I know Shaggy's going to want drivers of the day, so we'll start with split 1. Sal, who is your driver for split 1?
I'm gonna have to go with Wade. He did the no stop. He was able to conserve his tires and take home the win. I know picking the winner is the easy choice, but certainly he seemed to have he had a strategy and he stuck with it. Didn't panic and was able to put in a nice solid race.
Fair enough. All right, Chuck, how about you for split 1?
I'm going to have to go with Sal on that one.
All right.
Masterclass in tire management and being able to remain consistent.
All right. Now moving on over into split 2. Sal, starting with you.
Oh, let's see. God, split 2 was such a difference. I'm going to go with Papa, only because he also hung in there, tried to do the no stop strat. Was making it work all the way up until the end. Ran a good solid race, no mistakes. I'm going to have Papa as my choice for the second split.
All right, Chuck.
I don't know. I'm torn between Speed Burner just for, being able to come out with a victory at the end of everything. Or once again, McNaughty running a car. I don't think we saw any Mercs in the last race. Did we, Sal?
No.
I don't believe so.
I think McNaughty's the only person that signed with Mercedes.
Yeah, and just one of the cars that in brands that is not frequently seen, and the way he was able to pilot that Merc all the way to a top 5 is very impressive. So I'm torn between those two. And then once again, Pops as well, being able to hang in there and doing the no stop on a car that is demonstrably slower lap by lap, but because it's so good on tires, it can
it makes up for it
better it makes up for it at the end of the race.
All right, I'm gonna have to honestly give my pick for driver of the day, or at least driver of split 2. I got to give it to McNaughty. He made that AMG work. Even after the race, he said, and I quote, "Man, that SLS is bad," but he made it look easy, and that's a testament to his skill. Papa definitely had a huge benefit in driving that McLaren because it is so light on the tires that you can just chuck it around and it'll be fine. So he had the advantage in the McLaren. It benefited him, but McNaughty used the tools he had best to his advantage.
Well, and that's not a bad pick. McNaughty was certainly mired back in traffic for a while and dealt with it wonderfully and was able to come back to a P3 and a podium finish at the end. Not a bad run.
Yeah, all right. So that settles that. Is there anything else? Do we have a mysterious split 2.5 or anything?
We do not. That really concludes our broadcast for today. Any final thoughts from you two?
Only final thoughts I got is I will see y'all tomorrow for splits 3 and 4. It'll be over on T-Case's channel. Don't quite recall the time exactly. I think it's noon?
It should
Central?
be 1 p.m. Central, noon Eastern time. We'll begin the races for splits 3 and 4 tomorrow.
Okay, so 2 Eastern, 1 Central, noon Papa's time, and 11 on the West Coast. So, yeah, Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great evening. Stay safe. Stay warm. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks, everybody.
Tuning
Goodbye.
in. Later, everyone.
Engines roaring life in the fast lane. PHG, we've been named, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go back. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, and looking back. Tires screaming as we take that turn. Fuel and fire in our hearts we burn. Opponents in the mirror, they can't keep up. Keep the throttle down, never wanna let up. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Team strong, bonds like no other. Brothers, sisters, ain't no undercover. Victory sweet, but honor even sweeter. Every race together makes the fight deeper. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the better of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Great racers, better people. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise